got a few funny stories today. Of course, that's why we're here. And I'm sure some of you will actually relate, and we might actually get a bit of pushback on this. Pushback is welcome. This place doesn't smell clean anymore.
Oh, Karen,
And we're
down.
like, okay, so what would you like us to do? Because we're out of solutions here. Cleaning is a relationship job. Like people they'll either love their cleaners or they won't. They'll be super racist about it. You think about it. We clean a foyer of a 15-tower residential building. The foyer is clean and old mate Karen, sorry Karen, we love you, but we're just going to use your name. Karen takes her rubbish bag that is leaking of liquid through the foyer.
How hard is it to get a cleaner that actually knows how to clean properly?
And stuff that's why we don't do domestic cleaning. Babe, how are you?
I'm very well, darling. How are you?
So fun to be here.
Lovely to be here. Love talking about the world of cleaning and being dirty.
I feel like Jodi would really want to take it. I mean, I feel like we take it to the gutter, but sometimes I'm like, oh, she wants to go
I kind of want
deeper
to
and deeper.
I don't know what you're saying, Coraline.
I've got a few funny stories today. Of course, that's why we're here. And I'm sure some of you will actually relate, and we might actually get a bit of pushback on this. So pushback is welcome. Comment below and tell me all the reasons and the things why you don't agree with me. Obviously, this is from my lens as the company, as the one that manages the cleaners and the clients. But I'm just going to get straight into it.
Sure.
Do you mind?
And just in case the audience haven't tuned in before, Coraline and her amazing family have worked for Innova Cleaning Services, commercial industry for over 38 years. And it's absolutely fabulous because they actually care. And over to you, Coraline.
Thank you. We really do care. Like,
I think I might get this
it's
feather
not just-
duster out the way.
she loves the feather
I
duster.
just love this feather duster. Anyway.
Can I just say,
Yes.
my father hates the feather duster because it's not commercial. So we just have this joke. If you're just tuning in, it's actually a joke. We don't use feather dusters in your office, FYI.
Just Jodi.
One of the things that we get a lot is that people will complain about the smell. Okay, so just the smell post-cleaning. And they'll say like, it doesn't smell good, or the chemicals that you've used are aggravating my allergies. Can you use a different chemical? It's just really not okay.
Yeah.
So then we're like, yep, noted.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, Kaza. So what we do is we change it up. And we're like, yeah, we're respectful of, people have allergies and blah, blah, blah. We change the chemical and good old Kaz gives us a call 3 weeks later. This place doesn't smell clean anymore.
Oh, Karen,
And we're
down.
like, okay, so what would you like us to do? Because we're kind of out of solutions here. You didn't like the previous thing. You said that it didn't feel clean or that it aggravated your allergies. We've changed to something else. Typically, it's happened like 2 to 3, 4 times. And they're still not happy. And what tends to happen is we go back to the original option of like what we were originally using, and then they're like, oh my god, this is so amazing. We're like, fucking hell, you are mental.
My gosh.
So I think a lot of this stuff is definitely like in the head, and people just like, as I said, like we just cop the blame for stuff.
And are these Karens also, obviously they're complaining about the smell? What else does Karen complain about?
Well, we talked about this the last episode, but like it doesn't feel clean. And I think we were talking about this off air, and I just have to reiterate. I just have to reiterate that cleaning is a relationship job. Like they'll either love their cleaners or they won't. They'll be super racist about it. And if they love someone, even when the standard isn't great, they'll keep wanting to use that cleaner.
For sure.
We're just laughing because we're talking about it off air. And so, there's so many sites that we've done audits and we go to the client, like Jodi's not doing a very good job. Let us replace Jodi. And they're like, oh no, we love Jodi. And then Jodi goes on holidays and we put a new cleaner and they're like, the site looks so much better. And they're like, we don't like Coraline. Like, she's not doing a great job. We're like, but literally, like, there's no cobwebs. There's no marks on the walls. Like, she's doing a way better job, but they just want Jodi to come back.
They all do.
They all do. The other thing that we find a lot of is some of our clients have a very sparse frequency. So what I mean by that, it might be like, you know, a 6-pack unit block. So yes, we don't do residential, but we will do the common areas of residential towers. So think of like a small 6-8-pack, you know, back in the day when the Wogs built the 6 to 8 brick 8-packs. And little old Biddy, she, you know, will only go there twice a year. You know, what can you do for twice a year cleaning? Like, the accumulation of dust, cobwebs is huge.
Yeah, for sure. What do you sorry, just to interrupt there, what do you recommend is the, you know, the
premium, yeah.
No, not the premium. Come on, Jodi, you can do this. What is the space between keeping maintenance on a clean? Does that make any sense at all?
It does. You're talking about frequency.
Yes,
so it's like, what's the best frequency?
Yeah.
It all depends on foot traffic.
Yep.
How big the building is,
Right.
your budget, and what you're looking to get from the cleaners. Like,
Yeah.
some people don't care, and some people want, you know, you think of a brand new residential tower where everyone is paying $30,000
Yeah.
in body corporate fees. They're going to want, like, great cleaning every single day. But you look at a 6 to 8-pack, their body corporate fees are only like probably $5 to $10,000 a year. They can't afford it every
sure.
week. So little old Biddy only has cleaning twice a year. What the fuck can we do for twice a year? Honestly, like, there's not much we can do. But she will call on month 3 or 4 and say, the building looks really bad. Like,
That's because you haven't had it cleaned. Biddy
yeah, and we're
Karen.
like, well, the last clean was 4 months ago, and we're due to come back in 2 months. Like, we can come back, but you have to wait 2 months. And so it's our fault that it looks dirty.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just
Well,
have
you can't
to,
live in something and not get it cleaned for 3-4 months and not, yeah, okay.
So this is the stuff that we deal with, right? And then, like, old Biddy, who is our least paying client, like, we probably charge her $200 every 6 months,
Yeah.
takes up the most time.
And I know you guys are all about customer service, so you guys probably, you know, want to try and fix that with, even though it's not your job.
I've had to be really strict with the operations managers because they bend over backwards. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you cannot be spending your time with these people when we have clients that are paying so much more money that need our attention. If they are not happy, they need to increase their frequency.
Yeah, I agree.
But we do spend a lot of time on this, and can be like really annoying. I'm not going to lie.
We've got cleaning anger, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness. Like, it's just the underappreciation. If you're going to expect someone to, like, and you know, okay, so this is another thing in our industry. You look at all the trades, and a lot of the trades have defect periods. I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but let me just quickly give you a rundown. If you're an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, typically you have a period of defect where if something goes wrong with the new light switch, with your new hot water system, with a structure that a carpenter has built, you will typically get a defect period. It could be 6 weeks to 6 months, okay?
Yeah.
As a cleaner, we cannot offer you a defect period.
Yeah, I get
because you think about it. We clean a foyer of a 15-tower residential building. The foyer is clean, and old mate Karen, sorry Karen, we love you, but in this instant we're just going to use your name. Old mate Karen takes her rubbish bag that is leaking of liquid through the foyer. And then some person, I was going to use another word, but some person in the body corporate will then call up at the end of the day and said, your cleaning team didn't come through. It is disgusting. We're like, well, actually, based on our system, they were there at 8 a.m. It's not possible. There's marks everywhere in the lift. You guys see what I'm saying. So as cleaners, we can't have defects. We can't send someone back to fix the cleaning because we don't know what's going to happen during the day. And that is the hardest part of our job, and no one understands it, and everyone wants for us to come back for free. But where does it end?
Yeah, I get it. But it'd be really interesting to know from our audience, what are some of the commonalities that if you have a cleaner that they're just not doing? Because I know how hard it would, you know, I know how hard it was for me to actually find myself a cleaner, and that's because they didn't do fuck all, you know, and so they literally didn't. And I have to say, what the fucking hell have you been doing? I'd get in, I was like, it's okay, I'll do it myself. But, you know, what?
This is why we don't do domestic cleaning.
Yeah, sorry. I am the Karen. Like, yep, thanks for that. Have some money for nothing. What are some commonalities that you have found in your cleaners across Australia that they're just not doing? We'd love to hear from you, because I just would. I think it's funny, but
you would, yeah. And can you just tell us too when you're sharing, like, is it commercial or is it domestic? Because I think I really want if anything, like from an education perspective, I'd really love the audience to understand the differences, because as I've said before, and I'll like say it as a broken record, a domestic cleaner, like typically we would not employ someone who has domestic cleaning experience to be a professional or a commercial cleaner. They are vastly different.
Do you find many people actually do I sound like China Bing, do that? Do you find it's just your company that's so diligent in how you've got your teams to perform?
I mean, when you're desperate, you know, you might say, okay, we'll grab this domestic cleaner. But honestly, most of the time, like, I can't think of the last time we employed a domestic cleaner to fill in a hole. Like, we just won't do it because it's so different. And you're probably thinking, listening, like, well, what's so different about it? Well, again, like I've said before, the way that you clean, the machines that we use are more powerful in commercial cleaning. The chemicals that we use are more powerful. You know, we don't go to Woolies and buy our chemicals.
Do you need more? So for the audience out there who are, as I say, if you get into cleaning, we just heard from Coraline earlier that actually said you can get $80 to $90 an hour, which I actually didn't know.
In this current market in May 2025. I find that
astounding. So if you're just sitting at home going, oh, I can't get a job, think again. And this is good money. But if we talk about what we were just saying, there is a difference in qualifications and how you go about commercial cleaning and domestic cleaning. What credentials, what do you need to have that a domestic cleaner would not necessarily have done before to be a commercial cleaner?
Yeah, really good question. I think, you know, if you look at a domestic cleaner, they won't understand different surfaces. So you look at tiles. Think about a tile.
I love looking at tiles.
Think about a wooden floor. They're all, the finishes are very different, right? And so if there has been a spill on a specific tile that has a specific porous quality, you will need to use a different chemical. Most people who are domestic cleaners don't understand that. If you have a wooden floor, there are certain chemicals, depending on how it is finished, that you would use and not use because you will fuck the floor. So those are...
What do you mean fuck the floor?
You know what I mean?
We've all been there.
She's so dirty, guys, like literally. So these are the different things. Also, like as I said, different chemicals. Most domestic cleaners are going to use either green stuff that, you know, they make themselves, or they'll go to Woolworths and Coles and buy like Jif and fucking, you know, bleach. Like, we don't do that. We have commercial grade chemicals that are diluted to different levels depending on what we're cleaning. And that is the key difference that most domestic cleaners won't do.
Roger that.
Yes. Now you know. 101 in cleaning. Let's have a look. Ask me a question while I look for another funny story.
Oh gosh.
Or maybe we wrap it up now and I keep it for the next one. What do you think?
My brain's just gone dead on cleaning.
She's dead on cleaning. Hence why we're going to death cleaning. Well, we're going to wrap it up, and I've still got so many stories. We'll wrap this one up.
Yep.
I think Jodi needs a drink.
I do. Yes, Grey Goose. Anyone? Not even joking.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We love having you along with us. If you've got any pressing questions, or we might actually also do a Q&A one, in upcoming episodes. But thank you so much. Share with your friends and tell us the funniest story that we've shared that you loved so much. And I'll see if I can get more out of the vault.
Yes. And please do leave your comments, because we love feedback just in terms of, you know, what you're finding, what problems you're finding with your cleaner. How hard is it to get a cleaner that actually knows how to clean properly? You know, what are they missing? We would love to know your experience and take that on board. And remember, I need to know, because I'm just going to ask you all the time. When you answer that question that Jodi just asked you, please tell us if it's for domestic or commercial purposes, because very different. And we can probably help you find some great teams wherever you are in Australia. Exactly. Thank you so much. Bye. Up next, when I was a property developer once upon a time, I used to have this huge ego about being a property developer, but I never used to tell anyone I owned a cleaning company, because who would want to own a cleaning company, right? It's not very sexy, but telling people I was a property developer was way sexier. The best advice I can give to someone is don't overthink it. Come in and get started, and you can learn the rest. The key is, if you don't start it now, you actually never will. Stop trying to perfect something. I have more freedom than I've ever had. I'm making $80 an hour, and now I'm not reliant on anyone else, and I'm actually making money.